All right, so what's our objective today, Tyler?
Well, we're here at Arlene Shoemaker Forest Preserve in Aurora, Illinois, and our objective today is to locate a remainder of the farm that used to be here. We have done research on the families who lived in this area before the Kane County Forest Preserve bought it, and we're just out here on this beautiful Saturday morning to see what we can find of what remains. So right now we are at the area where we believe the road would travel through.
It used to come over from the right.
Yes, and today the path kind of skews down here, but back in the day it used to go straight and make a left not too far down there.
Let's go check that out.
Yeah.
So the road came straight from there. It's heading west this way, and it went straight through there, and we're going to explore that. You can kind of see where it used to go. Now this new part of the trail curves off, so this really hasn't been here all that long, has it, this part of the trail? I have no idea how old these are, but there's some old shoes. Maybe they're not all that old, but kind of interesting, isn't it? Mm-hmm. They've been there a while, because here's the lady's shoe, like heel. What's this thing? What is that? Like a jar seal or something? Mm-hmm. So we had to sort of walk around where a tree had fallen, and the road picks back up here. People walk through here, you can tell, and there's a certain amount of litter. Sort of artifacts here. This looks like it's concrete.
Uh-huh.
The road is starting to curve a little bit. We'll make our way through. And up here it looks like there's some more rocks. Or maybe this is concrete that's been busted up. Yeah. Noticing, a lot of busted up concrete in the way, and then this wheel over here is certainly looks like it's from the era, mid 20th century. See what kind of tire it was. Could explore a little bit more here, but quite a bit of wear. You can see the tread is worn down. Mm-hmm. There's custom extra grip, wide tread. Let's see a brand. Oh yeah, does this say Goodyear?
Oh
yeah, Goodyear. What's that say? Tubeless nylon. Big deal that it was tubeless.
Mm-hmm.
Is this the number you were looking at? 9.50-16.5. Yeah. Oh, very cool. Probably it's like it's some kind of farm implement.
Yeah.
Even a wagon maybe. All right, yeah. Let's get back on the road here. It's kind of lost its contour, hasn't it? Yeah. Can you still see it?
I mean,
it's not going over there, is it?
Is it? Oh, I think it's there.
Kind of over there. It's a little bit higher.
Yeah. Wait, what?
Does it seem like it?
Yeah.
What's interesting is it doesn't take long for nature to reclaim stuff, does it?
Yeah, you'd expect with how slowly trees grow.
These are old 2-liter bottles. They haven't had that kind of plastic part at the bottom, separate plastic part, in a long time. Can't tell what it was. Those are old. Some stacked rock. This looks like roofing shingles.
Oh, really?
I wonder if there was a little building over here. And then some paint cans. Some old paint cans. and another one over there. So we're on the other side of this tree now. We were standing just right over there, and this hose comes all the way through, and the tree is definitely grown around it. It's really interesting.
So it's not connected to anything?
No. But must have served some purpose at one point to bring water or something. It's kind of weird, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So this is something interesting. It's like some sort of spring. What do you think that is?
I don't know.
Huh. Piece of wood. Nothing too special, is it?
Mm-hmm.
It's a racing Pepsi cup. I don't know what this is. I was looking at it. It's really hard. It's not. What is that? This is like one of those bases of an old 2-liter bottle. I don't know when they stopped doing that, a long time ago, but it's weird that it's just on the surface.
Mm-hmm.
What is this? That's a fungus of some sort. Did you see that? This is like that's a huge fungus. This thing, just for the scope of size, but you touch it and see the spores come out of it.
I've been looking for one of those things for a while.
Thing's enormous. It's like bigger than a human head.
Well, there's a bigger one over there.
Really?
So, yeah, right behind you. And
it's interesting. It's right next to this top of this old bottle. I don't know how old that is. But yeah, there's another huge one of these fungi over here. We'll have to look into this. I don't recall ever seeing one of these, but
yeah,
the thing is huge. See? And
we're definitely not
looks
on the
like a
Kaysar
rock
farm anymore.
Yeah, I think we're over on the other land, but yeah, that's interesting how that's
You think that could,
grown.
well, how could that?
It has like a covering around it. This is kind of peeled, that's peeling away. That is really interesting. What were you going to ask?
You think these fungi came from something?
Well, they're definitely growing out of the decomposition of things in the soil. So we've come out here now at Felton, or I'm sorry, Reckinger. Still just some culvert or some kind of artifacts, a lot of concrete here. It looks like this is about where the road came out. So we're standing on Reckinger now, and so the road would have entered into it somewhere approximately here. We've walked this way to get to this point.
So right now we're back into where we expect the house is by looking at the maps, somewhere in this area.
We're just looking on the floor of the forest here for any indications of a house. It's like, oh, so there's something over here, like looking for foundation or anything like that. What is this? Looks like maybe part of a old car seat. I don't think this is that old. It's just deteriorated. Looking for evidence of the foundation. I might have bulldozed it pretty well. Just not seeing a whole lot, are you? Of evidence of any habitation here? You'd think you'd see something because it hasn't been that long. It was probably only built in the 1960s, right? We believe. To have been here and to have been taken down already. Big oak tree over there. Let's see if we can see that, these big oak trees on the historic maps. So I suspect that those oak trees, that might be one there, because it was definitely here back then. I think we're in this area here. This is interesting, a little dwelling place for wildlife. These oak trees hollowed out like this. I'm surprised. Are you, Tyler, to hear that, or to see that there's no real evidence of the dwelling here? There's another little spot further down we'll go check out as well, but just no real indication that anything was here. Here's another one of those puffballs. Partially, it's been stepped on, it looks like. Okay, so we're looking at the map here, and we think we're about right here, and we're looking for this structure right there. And we did notice an old pole, utility pole of some sort. We're gonna go check that out. I think I'm pointing at it, right? Can you see that? All right, we'll go check that out. And then we suspect that that's tied to the location about where that line is. Here, can you hold the map?
Yeah.
We think that that could be somehow associated with like about where that line is right there. I don't know if it's associated with it, but probably about where that is. All right, so we made it through some pretty thick brush to get here to where the pole is. Interesting. Still got the guy wire going down to the side. So we're standing here not too far from the telephone pole, and these are some interesting old bottles. I don't know how. It's like, first of all, we got some old like radiator hose. I don't know. Is that what that is? Aren't these interesting bottles?
Yeah.
Here, hold that and let's get a shot of that. Z. That wasn't Zima, was it? In the 90s, that's a twist off. Oh, I wonder how. I don't see any numbers we could look up or anything, do you? That might. There's at least 3 of them here. So I think we're about right here where my thumb is. The P in copyright it is. So the structure's just right over. Would have been right over here, I think. Some more interesting fungi. Yeah, surprisingly, just little or no evidence of anything having been here, especially that recently. They really did a good job. Well, it depends on how you look at it. They did a thorough job of removing everything. But again, you can get a sense of the ground having been manipulated in the past here. Yeah, over the years, a lot of people have come and dropped their trash here. You know, a lot of little bottles. That's like a little milk bottle. Some pretty good sized metal thing here. Some kind of can or oil filter or something. Budweiser. Little beer bottle maybe. Oh, this is old. Look at this pop top. Looks like we actually have some cinder blocks here. Oh, I stepped on this, but it's kind of an old can, I think. Gosh, stepping on it. Pabst Blue Ribbon. Wonder when they last made pop tops like that.
I'd say the 90s.
Pabst Blue Ribbon, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Peoria Heights, Illinois, New York, New Jersey. I mean, the cans, the design I think looks pretty much the same, but those pop tops haven't been around for a while. Yeah, cinder blocks here. Yeah, these cinder blocks are just the scant evidence that there might have been something here. But again, you can see how the ground is kind of raised there. Probably doesn't show up well on the camera, but how you doing, pal?
Doing good.
We should be approaching the trail soon, picking it back up. And there's the path. There's this little, oh look at this, it's December. And this guy is out. I guess he's out doing a little bit of Christmas shopping. Maybe a bit confused as to what season it is. What do you think of that, pal? Those cottonwoods grow quickly, so they may not be as old as you think. I mean, if there were oaks that big, but what we could look for is this little brook. So it's interesting. This little brook that we're crossing, you know, should be right here. This looks like something that's been here for a long time, but I don't think that it's that old. I mean, it may have been somewhat man-made. Got some like culvert pipes here that are like PVC, heavy-duty PVC. That might have been something fairly recently to manage the water flow But when they were farming this, it apparently was all just flat, level. Now we're leaving the north end of the Forest Preserve. That's the prairie path up ahead. Of course, the old railroad bed for the
CA&E. Do you think we can find something in there?
I bet we can go exploring. Let's do that on a different adventure.
Yeah.
A little smoother walking than when we were going through all that brush. So we're walking back on the prairie path, and we're at the county line right now. That's Kane County, and this is DuPage County. And I don't know if I'd ever noticed this big old rock here. That you know that this was moved here probably back in the CA&E days, don't you think, pal?
Yeah.
To designate the county line. So think of all the stuff that it's seen passed by. Making our way back home.
Uh-huh.